the word in your home.
Good morning, and you're welcome to the Monday edition of your number one breakfast program, Good Morning, Abia. My name is Michael Ofonye, and of course I have Ruth perhaps with me. Ruth, good morning. It's nice to have you on the breakfast program this morning.
Good morning, Michael, and good morning to you, Abia. Welcome to your one-stop breakfast program on MCLtv. Good morning, Abia.
All right, of course, what we do on this program is to tell you all that is making rounds in the world of news and also bring you up to speed with what is happening in Abia State. Well, Ruth, it is 26 days left. You and I, Nigerians, will be heading to the polls. How ready do you think we are?
Well, from the look of things, I think Nigerians are prepared and they're ready. If you actually go to social media or you go to Facebook, you see people really agitating, and people are aware. They are now politically conscious, and people want to exercise their right to vote. Their right to actually elect those who are going to be at the end of affairs. And people are also being advised, especially parents, girls are being advised to shun their children or tell their children not to involve themselves in thuggery. You know, these are all aspects to the election, because we see youth being used as thugs at the election, being used to perpetrate violence at the election ground. And so this time around, I think Nigerians are fully prepared. You see people saying, I want to get my PVC. When you get to INEC office, you see that there are queues waiting to get their PVCs.
That shows commitment.
Yeah, it shows commitment like never before. I mean, this is one of its kind in all the years, and it's the ones I've seen. People are really conscious and they really want to participate and involve themselves actively in things concerning politics in the nation.
Okay, still talking about things concerning politics in the nation. First and foremost, what we do on this program is to give you the words that spurs you to be a better person. And the words of marble this morning comes up with these.
And it's coming from John Burroughs. It says, a man can fall many times, but he isn't a failure until he begins to blame somebody else.
All right, a man can fall so many times. It is accepted. But the only time it becomes a problem when you begin to say, hey, look, you are the one responsible for my failure. Then it becomes a problem. All right, it does to tell you that, look, you need to believe in yourself. You need to put your head upright. And if you do that, believe me, taking responsibility for the failure and not looking at somebody else. If you take responsibility for your own failure, believe me, you can move further than what you think. All right, this does also spur you to be a better person. Quickly, we go back to Ruth Arhams to tell us what is making rounds in the world of news.
Okay, welcome to the news segment of Good Morning Abia, and now details of the news. Abia State Governor Okezi Banzo has dedicated his 2018 AIT Outstanding Performance in Industrialization and Infrastructural Development Award to shoemakers, tailors and other artisans in Abia, the commercial capital of Abia State. Speaking after receiving the award at the International Conference Center ICC in Abuja on Saturday, Ibazo said the award is a testimony to hard work and transparent leadership which his administration has brought to bear on the state. He also stressed that political stability and unity in the state played major roles in the industrialization and infrastructural development by his administration, adding that the Enyimba Economic City, which is coming to reality soonest, will make Abia State truly the SME's capital of not just Nigeria, but also Africa. According to the governor, the Enyimba Economic City, which will fully industrialize the state, has a capacity to create 700,000 jobs over a period of 10 years. He dedicated the award to the artisans in Abia for their never die spirit and to shoemakers, tailors, artisans who have the capacities to make anything from nothing. The General Officer Commanding GOC 82 Division Nigerian Army Enugu, Major General Abubakar Maikobi, has assured Abia State residents that the Operation Python Dance 3, which was commenced in the Southeast Zone, is for internal security operation and not targeted at anyone or any group. Nero Kafo has the details of the story.
I am here also to inform you that we have planned up Operation Python Dance 3, and it's going to be the same pattern with Python Dance 1 and 2. The exercise is purely internal security operation, and we divided the division area of responsibility into 6 sectors. A sector here, the government will be in charge of the sector.
The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, and the federal government are to resume talks on Monday on how to resolve the impasse over the 2-month-old strike embarked upon by lecturers. National President of ASU, Professor Biodun Ogunyemi, confirmed the development. He, however, said the union was not optimistic about the prospects of an early resolution of the industrial dispute. The ASU president had an inexclusive interview with The Punch last week, said members of the union were tired of government's failed promises. He said last year they promised to release the funds, but they did not until November when the strike began. Our members are saying they do not want promises again, and what they want is action, implementation or disbursement of funds. The government must act in a way to convince the union that the agreement has not been set aside. To show that the government has not set aside the agreement, they should release one tranche. He explained that in order to forestall a situation where ASU and the government will restart negotiations on arrears of earned academic allowances, both sides had agreed that it would be mainstreamed into the 2019 budget. Ogunyemi also said, "We are going to have a discussion on when to commence renegotiation because there are still grey areas. If the government can substantially address these issues, we will be more confident to face our members on the way forward. For now, the signals we are getting is that our members do not actually want to accept these government proposals from us." Members of ASU went on strike on the 4th of November 2018 to demand for improved funding of universities and implementation of previous agreements with the government. The union is also seeking the implementation of the 2009 federal government ASU agreements, Memorandum of Understanding MOU 2012 and 2013, and Memorandum of Action MOA 2017, among others. ASU wants the federal government to expedite action on the release of funds to revitalize public universities in accordance with the federal government ASU MOU 2012 and 2013 and MOA 2017. The university teachers are also demanding the release of the operational license of Nigerian Universities Employees Pension Company. And the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, told the leadership of ASU that the federal government would accept many of their demands, but flexibility is needed to implement the rest. The federal government has disclosed a new regulation is on the way to flush out foreign operating private security outfits in Nigeria, accusing them of aiding insurgency and criminalities in the system. The Commandant General of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Abdullahi Gana Muhammad, disclosed this in Kaduna at the weekend. He spoke during the Managing Director's Chief Executive Officers Pali, organized by the Kaduna chapter of Association of Licensed Private Security Practitioners of Nigeria, and represented by the Assistant Commandant General PGC Helen Amakui. The NSCDC boss said the new regulations document is being designed to address the lacuna in the 1986 Private Guard Companies PGC Act, which is said has become so obsolete and cannot longer be used in the regulation of the PGCs in Nigeria of today. According to him, luckily Section 3.5 of the Act empowers the Minister of Interior to make regulations. So as a regulator of the industry, we ask the permission of the Minister, which is the Chief Regulator, to formulate regulations that will address all the lacuna in the Act, and that we have done. The Commander General, however, asked the private security operators to be ready to upgrade their practices and follow the guidelines. National President ALPSPN, Mr. Davidson Akimen, asked the federal government to employ their services in intelligence gathering to address the various security challenges confronting the country. Represented by the Vice President of the Association, Emilia Chasa, the President, while noting that security in Nigeria has become a burning issue, the private security operators can assist in the area of intelligence gathering as they have their men in every nook and cranny of Nigeria. And two African presidents have congratulated Democratic Republic of Congo opposition leader Felix Tshisekedi for winning last month's presidential poll, despite the African Union saying it has serious doubts about the results. The Constitutional Court ruled that Mr. Tshisekedi had won after rejecting the challenge from rival Martin Fayulu. He said Mr. Tshisekedi had made a deal with outgoing President Joseph Kabila. Mr. Tshisekedi's team denies this. Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta and South Africa President Cyril Ramaphosa sent their congratulations. Mr. Ramaphosa called on all parties to respect the decision of the Constitutional Court and commit to continue with the journey of consolidating peace. The South African Regional Group, SAD, had also welcomed Mr. Tshisekedi's victory, saying that all Congolese should support the President-elect in his bid to maintain unity, peace and stability. The African Union, which was supposed to send a delegation to the Republic of Congo on Monday, has now postponed the trip. And with that, we've come to the end of the news segment, but Good Morning Abia continues with Michael before I do enjoy the rest of the program.
All right, thank you, Ruth, for taking us around the world of news. Before I let you go quickly, let's talk about what is going to form our discussion for this morning, and starting with the political debates. You and I know that Nigerians have begun to react both positively and negatively on the candidates being organized by the ART International. Of course, that came on live, and some of us saw that. No, I'm talking about that came on NTA International. The candidates. What's your opinion?
Well, I think lots of things played out. But people were more agitated that the main candidates.
No. You're talking about the one organized by Bond. There was one that was organized by AIT International, where Sibanja
and Peter Obi actually were.
No. Still talking about the one that the president and the vice president had.
Had the talk. Okay, the one that so many people said the president kept having hearing issues and had to ask the question over and over again. Well,
but the bottom line is, despite the fact that a lot of Nigerians believe that there seems to be a loophole somewhere, but the truth of the matter is, you must also give it to the president for coming, because he had the right not to come.
In a situation like this, he doesn't have a right not to come.
I sincerely agree with you, but I'm saying that coming to that shows that he's determined to talk to Nigerians. I mean, for every negative thing, there must be some positive things. So a lot of people, I'm speaking about Nigerians in diaspora, they said, well, the first is, thank God the president came, and despite the fact there were two or some certain issues that happened,
that wasn't really right. But I think the president at this point in time, knowing the kind of political environment we are, having so many conscious people, he has the right to come. Because if he had absconded or if he had not showed up, Nigerians would say he has no regard for them. Because this is someone we are going to be voted into power to be the president.
Let's also take a look at the one organized by Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, Punch. And Atiku came, and because the president was not around, he decided to leave. And of course, Nigerians has reacted to that as well. All right, all these are going to form our discussion this morning. The state of the nation, we talk this, and we want you to be around. And when it's time for you to lend your voice, tell us what you also think about the state of the nation. Talking about the political debate, and still talking about political debate, MCLtv and all the TV stations in Abia states, the Roundtable organization, that's what it is, decided to put up something, and this one is called Political Debates 2019, where those jostling for the position of gubernatorial candidates, and also those that will be going to the federal house would also have the opportunity to talk to Abians. And of course, you want to keep a date with us. This is going to come up on the 4th of February and on the 21st of February. All this is going to come on live on MCLtv, ACT TV, Buzz FM, Magic FM, BCA, you name it, all the 13 radio TV stations in Abia State. And also, we're also bringing online, because we know that some of us might not have the opportunity to be on the TV screen or the radio, and so you might have opportunity to watch that live from some of the online TV stations that will be coming to give you all this live. So you want to put a date with us on that. That is coming up on the 4th and 21st, and because the venue is Herbert Macaulay Hall at Binez Hotel. You want to come around? Feel free. The numbers there on the screen, you could get all the information that you need to get for you to be around to watch this debate live. Roots, okay, we go for a break, and when we come back, the program Good Morning Abia continues. Please do stay with us.
Political season is here.
The storm of partisan politics has thrown up numerous candidates.
Who can best represent the people?
Abia Media Roundtable presents Political Debates 2019 for governorship and National Assembly candidates.
Let the best candidates emerge through fair debates on relevant issues.
Abia Media Roundtable, Fairness and Integrity.
2019 Abia Political Debates.
Date: 4th February for National Assembly candidates, 21st February for governorship candidates. Venue: Binez Hotel, Herbert Macaulay Hall, Aba. For more information, call 080-5483-3026, 080-3669-3622, or 080-3300-3566. This program is proudly brought to you by ACT TV, BCA, Boss FM, Flow FM, Magic FM, MCLtv, NTA Channel 6 Abba, PBS, Pacesetter FM, Love FM, Vision Africa, and Ibere Online TV.
Good morning, Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Are you a plumber? Do you have 3 years experience in the job? Do you have good experience in store management and purchase? Then quickly apply to the management and Etona Hotel at number 6 Margaret Avenue, GRA, Abba, Abia State.
show on TV.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say what did man go do for this world where people no go talk? If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, they go talk. What did make we do for this world? I say make we dey do the things where we carry for heart. Now so world want am. I be not been so.
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCLtv.
Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Baby, da 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 da. You're my hopes, my dreams, everything. You're sweet, babe. Oh, 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 yeah. I wake up in a cold sweat. Why? Because I haven't seen you yet. I normally see you in my dreams. I thought I heard you speak. Waiting for the day to end. I'll be staring at you 8 by 10. And as I lay me down to sleep, starts over again. Yeah. Do you know I spend all day, all night, thinking of you, dreaming about you? Do you know I spend most of my time wishing for you?
Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Guy, you know that yellow papa where they were street where we so?
Wait, which one? That one where they drip for me? Now my babe now.
Free me job. If you no get money, hide your face. I hide my face.
Come, now me you talk like that. Guy, I be big boy. You see this TV so? You know how much I buy am? 200k, see this one. You were poor like don't show the market rat.
True. Now me they call market rat. See all those Gucci and Pate where hush puppy they show for Instagram so. Now me buy am for am.
Guy, you know e-money? E-money na my boy. Money where you dey spray, now me give am.
See this one oh. You know that Linda KG house for Banana Island? Now me dash her.
That one a house. Maybe you know OBO Davido. That 30 billion where dey your account. Now me borrow am.
forget it. You see that snake where swallow jam money? Now me send am. Now CBN they go next.
Tuale Baba. Ah hello, Tuale. Where is it?
True, bros.
Welcome back. Sincere apology for that little problem that came up due to technical issues. All right, Ruth, 26 days, and you and I and Nigerians will be heading to the polls. And the question we've always asked here on MCLtv is, how ready are Nigerians?
How ready are Nigerians? Like I said before, Nigerians are prepared.
Do you have your PVC, Ruth?
Yes, I do.
So you're ready to vote?
Yes, but being a journalist, I'll do more of the monitoring and telling people, giving people the feedback. But I think people have their PVCs. Friday, I had a friend say that she wants to travel. She has to travel. She said, I did not vote 2015, but this time around, I am going to vote. I have to vote. So you see, people really are eager to contribute their own quota, because they've seen that being indifferent to political issues in the country would not help us. Of course, we know that our vote is our right. People are saying...
That's the power you have.
Yeah, that's the power. So now they've realized this power, and they are saying we would not waste this chance anymore.
And still talking about wasting chance, if you have taken serious notice of that, if you look at past elections, you would have seen a lot of drums being rolled out, a lot of campaigns, but if you look at this present election, not much has been seen talking about politicians making a whole lot of sounds to cajole people. Not big party in the final one. You think it's a calculated effort, but someone already pointed it out to say that the presidency has decided to put up EFCC to monitor political parties. If you do big rallies, if you go from point to point, the question is, how did you make this money? And so that has also affected the economy, because a lot of people are believing that, oh, it's going to be money exchanging hands, because politicians will be visiting state and different local governments. But funny enough, that is not coming. Do you think with these that the president is also trying to make election, talking about campaign, less attractive?
Well, I would say, you know, campaign is just all about telling the people what you have for them, or what you've achieved for people who are going for second terms, or people who want to be re-elected, and for those who have not been there, you know, to tell them what it is that they are lacking, that they are going to be bringing to the table. I think is a welcome development. You must not spend money, go from local government to local government. Show the people, just tell the people what you want, and trust me, when the people know that you are sincere, they will vote for you. You know, I think the president was just trying to curb vote buy and all that, you know, so that people would
so
not.
You must give it to the president.
I have to give it to him, and I also have to give it to him that in his administration, people have learned to actually maximize money, know the value of money, and know how to save, and know how to utilize money. But I have to give it to the president when it comes to that. So I think it's a welcome development. Before we will see lots of loudspeakers, you know, we'll see
the
cars,
street becomes busy.
Yeah, and people are eagerly waiting for campaign periods to get the rights, to get the money, to get all that. But with the president, kudos to President Muhammadu Buhari, I have to say.
All right, that is Ruth Ohan saying, look, despite the fact that the topsy-turvy happening, that she is giving it to the president for making political campaign less attractive. The bottom line is the people want to vote. Tell us your manifesto. No need bringing out drums, rolling out drums. Just tell us what you intend to do if we decide to vote you in for you to take us to the promised land. That is Ruth Ohan's opinion. All right, of course, it is time for us to take a look at the papers. This morning we have 3 papers on our desk, and it's starting from the Daily Sun. And the Daily Sun at the right top corner of the paper comes up with these: Omega Power Church endorses Rivers governor for second term. And of course, that could be found on page 39. The Sun Award, my most cherished, Chukwudozie Group's boss. And quickly, let's tell you the big, bold headlines coming up from the Daily Sun this morning. Again, Obasanjo hits president's heart. February 16 pool, Buhari desperate like a butcher. And that could be found on page 8. Urges Nigerians to fight, safeguard their votes. Your past haunting you, APC replies ex-president. Your past is haunting you, APC replies ex-president. Obasanjo, today, another Abacha era is here. The security institutions are being misused to fight all critics and opponents of Buhari. And of course, the APC quickly decided to reply to the former president, talking about Olusegun Obasanjo. Former President Obasanjo should adjust himself to the reality of the imminent defeat staring him in the face. And that is coming from APC. And of course, the pictures element there is the editor-in-chief of the Daily Sun, the Sun Publishing Limited, Mr. Eric Osage, left presenting a letter to Sir Donald Chukwudozie, Chairman, CEO, Dozie Group of Companies, in his emergence as the Sun Manufacturer of the Year 2018 in Lagos. Okay, quickly, at the top, at the low parts of the paper, talking about the right part of the paper, APC, PDP trade words over articles U.S. trip, and that can be found on page 10. And also to tell you that all these are going to form our discussion this morning at the state of the nation. We ask you to glue on this program, where we open up our lines and you can tell us what you think about all that is happening in the country. Quickly, underneath that is ASU gives federal government condition to end strike, and that can be found on page 3. Let's take you to the back page of the Daily Sun. And of course, at the public forum, Jude Ondokwe says presidential debate between Buhari and Atiku. And of course, those are the two faces of the world laws. Those will be the people that will be jostling for the #1 position and seat of the nation. Ruth, it's back to you.
Okay, of course, we'll be reading out headlines here from the Nation newspaper. We'll start from the top left. Conditions for ending strike by ASU. And of course, you can see the ASU chairman, Ogunyemi, right there, Professor Biodun. It says conditions for ending strike by ASU. You can get details of these on page 42. APC PDP in row over arrest plot in Akwa Ibom State. APC PDP in row over arrest plots in Akwa Ibom State. Exchange rate policy likely, and of course auditors to be whistleblowers. Exchange rate policy likely, auditors to be whistleblowers. And fire gas skinners about brewery. Moses demands 200,000 euros. Picture element there of Victor Moses. And of course you can get details of these on pages 2, 19, 41 and 12. Away from that, we've seen a picture element of the CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, and it comes with a headline that says inflation, capital flow, top agenda as MPC meets. Inflation, capital flow, top agenda as MPC meets. $9 billion Dangote refinery. CBN retrace support for indigenous firms. CBN retrace support for indigenous firms, a $9 billion Dangote refinery. To know how CBN is supporting Dangote refinery, you can get the continuation of that story on page 6. Leave Kano out of Kano's home raid. Abia government warned. Leave Kano out of Kano's home raid. Abia government warned. Okay, who is actually warning who? And if you want to know more about the warning, page 41 is where you can read up that story. We'll move to a screaming headline here. Buhari Obasanjo clash over election fraud alert. Buhari Obasanjo clash over election fraud alert. Ex-president alleges plot to rig. He's haunted by his past, says APC. PDP claims it is vindicated. And it comes with picture elements here of Obasanjo, former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, and of course the president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, and of course we can see picture element 2 of Yakubu and Musa. Okay, I think I'll be reading out what Obasanjo actually said. Specifically said, I personally have serious doubts about the present INEC's integrity, impartiality, and competence to conduct a free, fair, and credible election. And if the INEC is willing, will the ruling party and government allow it? It's a question to all Nigerians. And now Buhari is saying the claim that Buhari has put in place rigging machinery is outrageous. We are unable to get the words to describe a 90-year-old liar, except to say that by the publication of the tissue of lies, he will fall from everyone's esteem. And the INEC boss is saying what we would do as a commission is to study the allegation he raised and amend where we have lacuna. What I want to say is that the present commission has the courage to conduct a good election for the Nigerian people. Okay, all this coming from the major players in the Nigerian political system. And of course, underneath that, you're seeing a story, federal government to send foreign security experts packing. Federal government to send foreign security experts packing. Gunmen kill man. And of course, get the details of that story or those stories on pages 5 and 8. We move away from the front page of the Nation newspaper to the back page. And of course, we are seeing today in the Nation coming from Femi Macaulay. And it says, Femi Macaulay says, as Boko Haram marks the 10th anniversary of East insurgency, it is clear that the insurgents are still dangerously active. The objective of the war on terror should be to make the insurgents inactive. I think there's a silent message there, but Femi Macaulay is bearing it all out. Comment and debate is up next. In Touch is the title of this one, coming from Sam Omasheye, Sons and Honoring Circles. Sons and Honoring Circles. Sam Omasheye. And of course, we've seen the picture element there of the CJN of Nigeria's Chief Justice of Nigeria, Wata Onoren. And away from that is hardball, curbing breast cancer. Curbing breast cancer. What is a scientific article there. It's a science article there. We're seeing the character on the left is titled Repos. Buhari vows to end illegal tax collection, says news. I've seen the policeman there with Big Tommy and of course money at his back pocket, and a man replying, yes, especially the ones collected at police checkpoints. Okay, and that's all for the Nation newspaper.
All right, leaving the Nation newspaper, the next paper on the desk this morning, which is the last paper. It's coming from the New Telegraph. At the top of the paper, it's on Equisili. I will lift 80 million Nigerians out of poverty, says the female candidate. Talking about Equisili, that will be coming up as one of the female candidates. They'll be contesting the #1 position. This morning, Equisili comes up to say that, look, I will lift 80 million Nigerians out of poverty, and that is coming from the presidential candidate of the Allied Congress Party of Nigeria, and ACPN, Dr. Obi Equisili. And of course, those are the faces of the other two contestants, talking about Kingsley Mogulu and also talking about Duro Taye Fela. Quickly, let's take you underneath that. Bakari, Nigerians have credible alternative in Buhari and Atiku, I beg your pardon. Bauchi governors arming talks with assault rifles, and that is coming from the Speaker, Dogara. And analyst MPC to hold rates amid inflation concerns, that can be found on page 30. EFCC recovered Porsche cars, 300 million duplex from internet fraudster, and that could be found on page 8 of the papers. And of course, the big bold headline from the New Telegraph this morning is on how Buhari plans to rig elections by the former president, talking about Olusegun Obasanjo. It says how Buhari plans to rig elections by Obasanjo. That could be found on page 4 and page 10 of the papers. And of course, the former president has this to say. He says his henchmen are walking around the clock in cohorts, in their cohorts with security and election officials to perfect the plans by computing results right from the ward to local government, state and national level to allot him what would look like a landslide victory. The president is walking around the clock in his cohorts to security and election officials, and that is coming from the former president. Of course, like I said earlier on, this is going to form our discussion for this morning, where we have 3 political analysts talking about Uche Emeko, Barrister Emperor, and also St. Moses Obona. These are the guests that will be laying the voice this morning on this topic. And quickly, still back to the papers, and of course, the APC comes up with these. All the elections he conducted were all rigged, so we can understand where the former president is coming from. His past is haunting him. He must be imagining the way he did it. The 2003 and 2007 election were nothing to write home about. And of course, APC has that to say. And of course, the gridlock in Lagos. Believe me, I was in Lagos a few days ago when the governor of Abia State got an award as the best entrepreneur governor given to him by Independence newspaper. And I tell you, the gridlock leaving the airports down to the venue is a story that I don't want to share with you. All right, quickly, Emefiele, the CBN governor, gives Dangote 75 billion naira for forex export, and federal government realizes 35 billion from tax recovery, set up tribunals, and that could be found on page 5 and 10 of the paper. Quickly, let's take you to the back page of the paper, and it is the CJN on Nonogay, and it is carrying the mischief of 2 ranks. If Ononoge had breached the code of conduct for public officers on asset declaration, he should not be insulated from persecution, and if found guilty, he should be appropriately sanctioned. End of quote. And of course, let's spice up your day with our cartoon animation, and it's coming from the New Telegraph, and they call this the High Chief. 2019 presidential debate. Come out, let's debate. Atiku challenges Buhari. He who fights and run believe me, shall fight to win another, fight to live another day. All right. That's just to spice up your day. Roots. He who fights and run away will live to fight another day. The only way you can be alive when you run for the fight. Believe me, you're saving yourself and you're also saving that of the opponent. All right, tick, tick. It is time for us to talk. And this morning, we would like you to tell us which of the headlights catches your fancy. And Ruth, quickly, let's start with the New Telegraph. And the New Telegraph has it how Buhari plans to rig election by the former president. The former president said, look, we know, I know, Nigerians are saying, but I am bold to say to you that, look, you and your cohorts with the security and election officials, you're trying to compute results, and by the time you do that, you take that from the local government to the federal government, to the federal level, and then you would say, and the winner is, of course we know all these, and that is coming from the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo. What's your take on these, personal opinion of the president, if you ask me, the former president, if you ask me?
Well, of recent, this administration, the former president has actually been hitting at the president. He has actually been speaking up and speaking out. And though he has always been lamenting about the president's modus operandi when it comes to handling the political issues of the country. But this one, I think he actually, I don't know.
He crossed the red line?
Yeah. Most people think he actually crossed the boundary.
But I mean, there's a freedom of speech. There's a freedom of expression. The former president, talking about Olusegun Obasanjo, is an elder statesman.
Yeah, he is.
And so if he dies speaking for Nigeria, I don't think he's crossing the red line. So most Nigerians will want to say, well, that is a personal opinion. And of course, quickly, I'll read out to you, if we can go back to the New Telegraph, I'll read out to you what APC gave in reply. The APC came up with these and they said, listen, Mr. Former President, all the elections that you have conducted. Okay, we'll take that after this call. Hello? Hello? All right, we'll mix that, please. You want to call us back on the number on your TV screen, 081-774-57728. Quickly, straight to the point, and tell us if there are any opinion or any of the paper that catches your fancy and you want to lay your voice on. Quickly, let me go back to the response from the APC. And this morning, the APC said, look, Mr. President, all the elections that he conducted were rigged. So we can understand where the former president is coming from. His past is haunting him. He must be imagining the way he did it in 2003 and 2007 elections, where nothing was to write home about. Okay, the APC is saying, look, Mr. Former President, we know what you're talking about. You were thinking that the same way you rigged the election, and you think that's what we're going to do. All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's nice to have you on the breakfast program this morning. Can you tell us your name?
I want to talk about the election that is going to come up.
All right. Quickly tell us your name and go with your comments, please.
My name is Chimamanda.
All right, Chimamanda, you have the floor. Quickly.
Okay, so from what I'm saying, I guess Obasanjo has a point on what he's saying.
Okay. And of course, did you see the response from the APC party? The APC said, I'd like to read that to you quickly, to say that, look, we know that you have never even conducted any good election. The one you did in 2003 and 2007 were all rigged. All right, sorry, we lost Chimamanda. Chimamanda, you want to call us again and tell us what you think on the response about APC saying, look, we know you, Mr. Former President. You, Mr. Former President, is not even in the right position to judge because you never did the right thing when you were the president, talking about 2003 and 2007. We're having another caller on the line. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning, sir. It's nice to have you on the program. Can you tell us your name and where you're calling from? Yes, your name and where are you calling us from?
This is
Mr. Aja.
Yes,
Okay, Mr. Aja, go ahead. What's your take?
I want to
on the issue that has to do with what the ex-president thinking on Obasanjo.
Okay, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
And also, the reply that they give.
Please go ahead, sir. You have the floor.
This really shows that there are from the time of Obasanjo down to this very moment, there is nothing like a credible election. Of course, it is new that every election is conducted in this part of the world. Everything is. I think as this question, what is the essence of going to the poll? If we really knew that our group is not going to count, that the only thing and it will be real. Because the person that is making this statement is an ex-president of this country. It's not really real that if you think that they are against the election, what is the essence of the going out there to cast your vote? What you do that your vote will be real? That is why sometimes I buy the idea of, because a statement like this now will not be going to the control to the poll. Because when we know that when we go to the poll, of course, the election will be real. So the president will be discouraged from going to the poll. When they know that the vote is not going to count. Thank you very much for what you are doing. I really appreciate what you guys are doing here.
All right, thank you very much. That was Mr. Aja. Of course, what you heard him, he said it shows that there's not been credible election. If you had to go by what the former president said, there's no credible election. But I'm going to quickly react to that and say, well, I think we would get there. Believe me, Mr. Aja, we would get there. There's no perfect election over the world. Even Americans are pointing hands that, look, the Russians also infiltrate into the system, manipulating the result to fit in Trump as the president. If that could happen in America, well, believe me, we will definitely get there someday. And our votes will count. Our votes will count, I say to you. We will vote. And Dede Ezeji, good morning. It's nice to have you on the program once again.
Good morning.
Dede Ezeji, tell us.
Good morning.
You've heard?
Right.
Yes, Dede Ezeji, tell us. What's your take?
I support Obasanjo. If to be 200%, I support him.
But you heard that.
Before even welcome with our president, shows he's going to reach the election.
What makes you feel he's going to rig the election? Why do we always anticipate fear even before anything is carried out? Why? Why can't we be positive and Nigerian and believe that, look, our vote will count?
Yeah, I'm a one politician. Retired one. I'm a one politician, retired one.
Okay. So you think the present administration is going to rig? Go ahead, sir. You have the floor.
But we are saying we are back. What do you think?
All right, thank you for giving us your opinion on this. Thank you, sir, and hopefully, I'm sure when the program starts, talking about the discussion segment, when our guests will also be giving us a professional political point of view on what they think might play out, and we want to also hear your opinion on that. Ruth, you heard what the president, talking about the former president, and also, but Nigerians are asking that if Obasanjo knew very well, having worked closely with the president, with current president, he was one of the few people that advocated that we should vote, Nigeria should vote for Mr. President. And now, why the turnaround? That's the questions Nigerians are asking. Hello, please, can you reduce the volume of your TV set so we can hear you? All right, thank you very much. Can you tell us your name and where you're calling us from so we can go with the next segment? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, quickly, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from, sir.
Yeah, my name is Comrade Emeka.
All right, Comrade, go ahead. What do you think?
Okay, my take concerning what our former president just wrote yesterday, it is an obvious one. We know that the plan of the current administration, the APC, that they want to rig the election But I must tell you, it won't be easy for them to rig the election.
All right.
Nigerians are wiser today. And you can't compare the election of this year with that of 2015 that was between Buhari and Jonathan. This one, we are having the same people, the same tribe, the same religion, and they all have the strength, political strength, to fight it out. Come next month, the 6th of February.
26
So
days. 26 days to be precise. 26 days. You and I will be heading to the polls just to help you with the countdown.
Please come again.
26 days left, and you and I will be heading to the polls. 26 days left.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Nigerians, we are ready to make a change, a positive change like that. Not the type of change we are promised 2015 and
all right.
change, or rather.
All right, thank you, comrades. Thank you very much. I'm sure you want to stay tuned on the program when we bring in experts talking about political aspects. No other person than the three gentlemen that will be coming shortly on this program, talking about Uche, Emeko, and Barrister St. Moses. Also, Emperor, the advocate for truth, who is also going to be with us on this program. We'll go from a break, and when we come back, it'll be time for us to talk. And this morning, we're taking a look at the state of the nation, looking at all that has played out since last week. Please go nowhere. Stay with us.
Stop breakfast show on TV.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say, what did man go do for this world where people no go talk? If you chop,
do not urinate in public places.
You no chop, then go talk. What did make we do for this world? I say, make we do the things where we carry for house. Now so world want that. I be not be so.
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCLtv.
Another political season is here.
The storm of partisan politics has thrown up numerous candidates.
Who can best represent the people?
Abia Media Roundtable presents Political Debates 2019 for governorship and National Assembly candidates.
Let the best candidates emerge through fair debates on relevant issues.
Abia Media Roundtable, Fairness and Integrity.
2019 Abia Political Debates.
Date 4th February for National Assembly candidates. 25.
Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV. Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
You're welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is still Good Morning Abia, your number one breakfast program on TV. And of course, it's time for us to talk. This morning, we'll be taking a look at the state of the nation. You and I know that 26 days left and Nigerians will be heading to polls, and a lot has been happening in the political scene. And this morning we have two political experts to discuss with us. From my left is a known face on this program, talking about Barrister Emperor Obona. Barrister Emperor, it's nice to have you on the breakfast program this morning.
Thank you very much.
And of course, sitting close to him, he comes up with a tag name, the Sniffer, as no other person than a human rights activist, a lone voice in the desert, no other person than Uche Emeku. It's nice to have you on the breakfast program, sir.
Thank you, Mike, and good morning, Abia.
All right, Barrister Emperor, I'm going to start up with you. It all started with the current president, talking about current administration of Muhammadu Buhari, pointing fingers that the PDP candidate Abubakar Atiku has a corrupt case in America and cannot travel to the US. But last week, Atiku decided to break that jinx by traveling to the US. And of course, you and I know the history that Lai Mohammed came up and said, if Atiku comes back, he will be arrested for also having hands to do with the bank PHB closure. But let's start off with the first word. Atiku has no right to travel to the US. Now Atiku has gone to the US and is back. What's the take?
Well, it just shows that all these things are just political propaganda. You know, the US is a place where they don't listen to anybody. Their systems are stronger than the people that occupy it. What I actually mean is that if Atiku was indicted, the FBI and the CIA and the police would have arrested him when he stepped into America. It is not one upon which the government can actually stop. What I'm actually saying is that if you look at Trump, his campaign manager is actually a convict now. Obama could not influence it in the sense that, Trump could not influence it in the sense that the president is not so powerful as to influence the law enforcement agency. So if there had been any iota of truth against Atiku, he would have been arrested. So he's going to, I am quite aware that there was a problem he had with William Jefferson and everything, but the man was maybe, the Senator Jefferson was actually convicted in the US. But Atiku himself, nobody has come to say there's any indictment. Even though the US government said that they don't have any indictment against Atiku. So all the things that APC is saying to me, this is just propaganda. The truth about it is that the young man has gone to America and he came back. So the issue of his being indicted in the US to me is a foregone conclusion. Then secondly, on the issue of Lai Mohammed saying that Atiku stole money, it's very funny that a bank like Bank PHB will collapse because of 156 million. He said that Atiku contributed to the closure, to the downfall of the bank by returning slush fund of 156 million. And Atiku asked them, provide evidence that I collected money. You know, that is just, like Mohammed is just a very funny character. He just did that to distract people from praising Atiku. Because Atiku has been in Nigeria, he came back on 19th, yeah. 20th, 21. We have not heard any news of any arrest. It's just funny. We have not heard any news of any arrest. We have not heard any news of Lai Mohammed producing any evidence against Atiku. So, to me, it is just this normal thing Lai Mohammed does of trying to bring out fabricated stories. I am not saying that Atiku may not have done anything wrong in the past, but these are Nigerian politicians. But this same Atiku, they are criticizing the same man that funded the last election, and he was a set then. But now he's now coming out to become this, and they're not criticizing. So in order to balance the whole thing, if the federal government have any issue against Atiku, they should produce the evidence. But if they don't produce the evidence, let them stop this newspaper trial. We have a grown newspaper trial in Nigeria.
Okay, of a grown newspaper trial, Emeku, let's have your opinion. Of course, you heard what the barrister said. What's your take on this?
Yes, whenever the Minister for Information and Culture, whenever he says something, Well, I know that there is a big lie behind it. I don't take it serious. I don't.
Why can't you take what the Minister of Information?
Because his name is lie.
Yeah, because yes, because there is nothing he has said that has ever been proven to be the truth. I mean, how do you call somebody a liar when you consistently tell lies, and there is even 100% of what you, I mean, even a percentage of what you have said has come to be the truth? I mean, you're just a liar. I'm sorry. Wait, I am not. I mean, with all due respect to his position and his age, but then he has come to be a man that is always continuously, he has it in his blood to always, try to deceive the gullible Nigerians. But he can't deceive somebody like myself. Then on the issue of Abubakar traveling to US and coming back, I think Abubakar has spoken by action. And the white man says action speaks louder than words. And I think that is just that. The thing is that APC is very desperate to get to power for whatever reasons, I don't know.
Okay, still talking about being desperate. Let's also take a quick look at what the presidency has to say concerning Atiku when it gets back to the country. Let's take a look at these clips, and when we come back, we'll still be talking on the state of the nation. Minister for Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, talking about Atiku's visit to the US. And of course, he said, and this is what I'm trying to bring out of the discussion, apart from Atiku's case to answer, talking about the bank PHB, the election will be held in Nigeria and not America. Why is the American trip, talking about the American trip done by Atiku, so important? It has nothing to do with our elections. Do you have something reverse to say concerning that? What's the importance of the Atiku's trip to the US?
Yes, I think his trip to the US is...
What is the significance?
Yes, the importance, the significance is that all along they have been banding this talk that Atiku has a case in America, he cannot travel to America, he's wanted in America anytime he sets foot there, and that any person that is contesting for the highest office in Nigeria, I mean, should be somebody that will be free to go to any place he likes. And all along, Atiku has not said anything. And so in order to put a permanent, put this lie permanently into the grave where it rightly belongs, I mean, Atiku had to travel to America. And all of us saw it. And even Loretta Onoche had to say something funny, that Atiku traveled as an aide of...
as a waiver.
I mean, Saraki.
Yeah,
as
a waiver that Saraki is aide.
So I don't think America is not a banana republic like Nigeria is turning out to be. I mean, whenever you have any problem there, no matter under the guise that you have traveled there, you will be unmasked, and then you will answer to that question. So it is very, very important, even for the person of Atiku, and for Nigerians who would wish that Atiku will become their president.
All right, you heard him. Do you have a different opinion to this?
No, not really. I don't have a different opinion. You know, the APC has been using this issue of Atiku to campaign that the man was indicted and that he cannot go to America. First of all, that without sounding partisan in any way, anybody who knows America knows that under the Diplomatic Immunities Act, if you become a president of a country, automatically you have a diplomatic immunity and you can go to any country and nobody will arrest you, except if there is an international warrant, ICC warrant against you. That is the only exception upon which I know that somebody cannot travel to a country. So even if Atiku had any problem, the moment he becomes Nigerian president, I remember many people have had the former president, the current president of, the current prime minister of India, America blacklisted him from traveling. Nelson Mandela, America blacklisted him from traveling, and some other countries too. Their presidents were blacklisted before they became president, but when they became president, they had automatic power to go to any country they wanted to. So that argument was not really holding. In the sense that even if Atiku had not traveled, by having a diplomatic passport, which is given to head of state, he is automatically empowered. Now, this issue of Loretta Anochie saying that he went as a waiver aid, there is nothing like that. I have checked the law. There is nothing like legislative. Diplomatic passports are not given to Senate president. A Senate president does not have that kind of passport that would give him the destiny. He has a passport actually, but it doesn't give him
such a waiver.
Not a waiver, it doesn't. And even if the waiver is given, it is a personal waiver. Let me explain what I'm trying to say. Assuming I'm giving that passport, I can only use it for myself. It is not for anybody traveling with me. The only people that are exempted for under the Diplomatic Immunities Act are people who work for the Nigerian embassy. They work for Nigerian embassies there, and Nigerian ambassadors and Nigerian high commissioners in countries where we are ruled by Britain. So what I'm actually saying is that Loretta Anochie was just fixing the whole thing up. Then secondly, on the issue of corruption, as they have actually said that this morning Atiku came out with, or yesterday evening, he came out with 30 names of people who were accused of corruption. Some of them have cases pending in court against them. Some of them have been accused municipal, some of them EFCC is investigating them, police is investigating them, including Lai Mohammed. You mentioned the name of Lai Mohammed. You mentioned Joseph Carlo. You mentioned so many people. Gandola, sorry, not Gandola. What's his name? Ganduje. They call him Gandola. Ganduje. So many people who are working for Buhari who are corrupt, who are corruption this thing against them.
All right. So you see that
we'll
come to that for time's sake. Let's just stick to. Of course, you and I know that last week the social media. Papers, people hanging and talking about the debates, but before then, a TV station talking about AIT International, AIT, sorry, I beg your pardon, I take that again, NTA International decided to put up a political debate and they start the candidates, and of course, you and I know that the president actually came for that debate alongside the vice president. And of course, let's take a look at these clips, and when we come back quickly, we'll be getting your opinion on these. Please do watch this.
You talked about the three things that you fought the first elections and that which you think is done. So maybe if we could take them one by one and see whether we can have a conversation. Let's start with corruption, because that was a big thing that the president fought on. There's a perception that the general corruption fight that we see under this administration is a little bit skewed, and that it focuses on people who are not pro-government or who are not friends of this government or who belong to the opposition party. How do you respond to those allegations? That your corruption fight focuses only on people who are opponents of the APC or who are not friends of the APC?
Well, I think let's make a fair treatment of the people, because it's not a fact for a fact. I don't think there is anybody that has been pointed out as corrupt in the last dispensation, which we looked at others directly. I think I can best illustrate my experiences on this. When I came in uniform in 1984, we arrested the president, the vice president, governors and ministers and put them in detention and say they are guilty until they can prove themselves innocent. We put committees of investigation almost based on geopolitical goals.
Just to piece of the iceberg of what transpired during the president's debate. But quickly, let's come back to you, Uche Emeku. You heard the president. Of course, the full version will be coming after Unasalaju Omabel, so please keep a date with us on this program for you to get the full version of that debate. Some Nigerians has reacted to say, looking at that debate, sometimes when questions being poised out to the president finds it difficult to understand, and if eventually he struggles to answer, the answers are not straight to what the questions is being poised to him. What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, I wish that the media houses would just kill this story, because it makes us a laughing stock for the international community. Even when looking at the vice president, in fact, I believe he must have been poo-pooing as he was.
Sorry, please, I beg your pardon.
Let's
be very civil with
okay.
That's
okay, what the language I actually wanted to use, I'm very sorry for that, is that he was when you look at him, he was very apprehensive as to the answer the president would have given. In fact, if he had that opportunity, he would have asked him not to. And that tells you the kind of country that we run here. And I think that's just it's just this thing, a question and answer, an interactive section. I don't think it's even a debate, because with this,
it's those that will be running for the position will be invited on a specific date. Just go ahead.
Yes, you know, when you talk about debate, the thing being a debate, you have the proposing and the opposing sitting together. And that is why I don't even look at it. It's just to try to find out the mindset. What they're trying to do now is to find out what has happened. But you see, when he's asked question, he goes the other way, just goes off tangent completely. And that tells you that somehow Aisha Buhari's talk about somebody being a cabal, being the force behind and doing this thing. I think this thing plays it out. And it is time for Nigerians to really actually decide whether somebody who cannot come straight with an answer, whether that person is supposed to be a president.
Okay, let's come back to you, Barrister Emperor. Nigerians in diaspora has also reacted to these, some a bit on the positive side, when they said, first and foremost, you must give it to the president for honoring to come to such a discussion. It shows that, look, I might not be a fast speaker like you all, I might not be a quick talker like you all, but I want to face Nigerians. Do you think you want to give it to the president? First and foremost, accepting the invitation to come and talk to Nigerians.
It is not something to be proud of that you accepted the invitation to talk to your country. Donald Trump talks every time. He even goes on Twitter. Every time you see Donald Trump saying,
people differ.
No, I'm trying to answer your question.
Yes.
What I'm actually saying is that he is the president of the country. This is our country. He is the president. He has a duty to be talking to us every time. It is not, we should not go and start applauding him because he accepted to talk to NTA. And remember, he was talking to NTA, and NTA is owned by the government. He is the owner. Let me use that word.
I really don't want us to go.
Let me explain to you what I'm trying to say. That
go towards that direction. If you say he's talking to NTA, if you take
through NTA,
if you watch that video, the full version, you would know that the woman talking about Kabi that anchored, she was just herself. She was not under any pressure, and she asked questions that you and I would want to ask if you're opportune to be.
Yes, I agree to that. But what I'm actually saying is that it is not a matter of talking. Anybody can talk. The question is, when the president giving credible answers, coherent answers to the questions thrown to him, let us be honest to ourselves. We all watched the interview. I saw the interview myself. I looked at under TVC, connected to NTA, and the questions the answers he was giving were not connected to the questions asked to him. At a point, the interviewer had to tell Oshibanjo, please allow the president to speak for himself.
Sure.
You know, those things shows you that our president does not really have a total grasp of everything. Let us be honest to ourselves. This country belongs to all of us, and we as patriots have to be honest to it. Yes, Buhari is popular in some areas. He's popular. Some people want him. Some people don't want him, which is normal in life. But the truth about it is that the president must be one upon who shall have a grasp of issues. And if he doesn't have grasp of issues, it becomes a problem. And look at it. Look at the election organized by the National Election Debate Group, and the NEDG. That election debate was one upon which everybody expected the president to attend. He did not attend. And that election was said to be held. It was given to almost 1 month date. It was last year that they were saying that 19th of January shall be the date for election. Everybody knew. So why would the president go and put just campaign on that day? He went to Jos, he came back, he said he was tired. What does that mean? It shows that disrespect to Nigerians. Because the government have told you, we are expecting you to do a national debate on. Do you know for it? Even Atiku came. Atiku came to the debate. When Atiku saw that the president was not there, he left.
Okay,
I don't want to go to that.
I'm still going to hold you on that, but quickly before, since you decided to bring the cart before the horse, let's talk about Atiku's absence. But I'll quickly read these to you. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Atiku Abubakar, said he walked out of the presidential debate because he had come to face the All Progressive Congress candidate. Apologizing to Nigerians for his absence, Atiku noted that he could not challenge an administration when the head was not around. Was that debate actually meant for Nigerians, or that debate was meant for Atiku to talk to the current president?
Okay, No,
I just need to...
Yes, I'm trying to answer it.
Was it fair to Nigerians that Atiku walked out? Because you talked about the president going to Jos and coming back to say, look, I'm tired and I don't think I'm fit to talk to Nigerians. Apologies, sorry I can't make it. Was it also fair for the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Abubakar Atiku came to the venue, looked at the people, shook hands? If you couldn't see the picture of Atiku shaking hands with the older candidates, shook hands with Kingsley Moghalu and the rest, and Fela Durotayo, only for him to come up and say, gentlemen, if Buhari is not here, I'm deeply sorry, my sincere apologies, I can't talk to you. Was that fair to Nigerians?
Yes, this is politics.
Was it fair? That's the question.
I'm trying to answer it to you. This is politics.
Was that fair to Nigerians?
I just think... Okay, no, please, you know I'm a lawyer. I have to be very careful what I say.
No. Was it fair to Nigerians?
This is politics. Let me explain to you why.
I just want to
hear me now.
Yes, you
have In 2011, Jonathan did not attend the
Barrister Emperor, please.
Okay, you ask why it is fair to Nigerians.
For time's sake, Atiku came to the venue, looked at all the political talking about the presidential candidates, shook hands, and said, if the president is not here, gentlemen, sorry, I'm here to talk to the number one man.
If this me, If this me, I will not attend that. Let me tell you, if it is me, Emperor, and the presidential candidate, I will not. Let me tell you, even before that time, I put a post. No, excuse me, sir, please. I'm the one that you interviewed. Let me explain.
Yes.
I put a post on my Facebook wall, and I asked my friends on Facebook that, assuming in this interview that Buhari did not attend, that if you were Atiku, will you attend? Many of my friends said that they will not. If this me, I will not. You cannot come to a World Cup and the defending champion did not come with the trophy and you tell me to play. I will not play. I think we do the right thing in refusing to attend when Buhari did not attend.
All right, good. So
when they're serious, they will let us know.
Okay, so that's your opinion.
That's my opinion. Yes.
Your opinion that it was fair.
It was fair because Buhari was the one who passed the vote and the president.
Okay, hang on, Emeko.
Yes.
Do you think, looking at the question, and I'd like to get a candid opinion from you, was that fair? From the People's Democratic Party,
above what you say, what you may call fair, it is excellent because a debate is always between two persons.
Excuse me.
Even in America,
the debate. Hang on, sir.
You see, unless you don't want me,
hang on, sir.
You can't see. It is not a yes or no answer.
No. I'm not saying
I have to have a reason for my answer.
Sure.
Allow me to bring my reason.
No, hang on. And that's where the platform. You are a political analyst. You're an expert in it. Yes. Was Atiku coming to talk to the other contestants, or Atiku was coming to talk to Nigerians, just like what Barrister Emperor said, that the dates, everybody knew that 1 month before now, the political debate is going to come up. And Atiku came to the venue and refused to sit with other talking about other presidential candidates. Was that fair to Nigerians?
Okay, let me ask you a question.
I'm the one asking.
You are the one. Let me also ask you a question because you will answer this one so that.
Well, my opinion doesn't count.
It will count now because you are a challenger to a wrestling champion, a boxing champion, world heavyweight champion of the world, and you are the #1 contender to that post. And there is a match between you, which has been scheduled over time, and people have paid their distance. And you only come to the venue, the champion is not there, the belt is not there, and they are bringing me, who is a lollipop, to come and face you. Will you box me?
Okay, I'll give you my answers and answer straight away. Let me start with you from the example you gave, because that also came up when Nigerians in diaspora, which is my favorite spot to read about the social media. And one of the responses that came up was, what you said also came up with a question. And people reacted to say, listen, we know the defending champion of the World Cup is the Italians or the Germans. If they don't come, doesn't mean that the football competition would not go on. And Nigerians in diaspora, even Nigerians here, believe that Atiku would have also used the opportunity to tell Nigerians his manifesto. That was one. Atiku walking and apologizing to Nigerians, according to Nigerians in diaspora, was not fair to Nigerians. So, and to your question, is Atiku wasn't coming to talk to the president. Atiku was coming to talk to Nigerians.
What was that?
Let me give you examples.
To what purpose? The purpose of the debate wasn't just to convince Nigerians. The purpose of the debate was to win election. That was the mark.
No. The mark of the debate.
Mike, let me explain to you now.
The mark of the debate was.
No. That was not the mark. The mark was to win election. Everything done to the campaign, both campaigning, both coming to debate, everything. The mark was to what? To win election. And now the man who had the crown, has a history of avoiding debates. And you are telling me to come and debate with Mogalo, debate with Fela, who I know. Everybody knows that even their structures are not strong. I don't even know the parties they are contesting on. I don't even.
You can be part of these by calling the numbers on your TV screen. Tell us your opinion. And of course, we have two political experts in the house talking about Barrister Emperor and Uche Meku. You want to tell us what you think? Atiku's apology, and then to say to Nigerians, my sincere apology. I didn't actually come to the debate because I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to prove a point in the front of the president. And that was what Atiku is saying. Atiku aired his view at his Twitter handle, and he said, I arrived at the Congress Hall of Hilton venue of the 2019 debate. This debate and the election is a referendum on the incumbents. We came here for a presidential debate, not a candidacy debate. End of quote. And of course, we have somebody on the line. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Good morning, sir. You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name, sir, and where you're calling us from.
This is Aja speaking.
Okay, Comrade Aja, go ahead.
I think the question that you asked the analyst.
Talking about Uche Meku and Barrister Emperor, yes.
I would say that you did not do Nigeria good by burning down the institutions to debate. Really, is not there. Because it's all about presidential debate. It's not the debate between Buhari and Atiku. It's a presidential debate. And we are not practicing a two-party system. We have other contestants that are here. If Buhari is not there, that would have been a fine opportunity for Atiku to showcase what he had for us. I can understand where the Emperor where he's coming from, because everybody wants to do away with Buhari. He wants Atiku to become the president of the country.
So he's basing his opinion on sentiments.
It's like when the victory is
Champions League.
Barcelona. In the bit of play, because Messi is not playing, another would say, I'm not playing because Messi is not in the game.
Exactly.
So we should look at it from the point of argument also. So that would have been an opportunity for Atiku to showcase what he had for us. But there is a presidential debate, and yes,
all right, thank you.
We have a multiple parties that are involved. So why the other candidates are there and we come here? I think that other people they are nothing to write him about.
All right, thank you very much, sir. So other people can also.
I don't like it. Maybe to go to the question that you asked, whether he did good. Personally, I don't think that he did what is right.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Aja. Thank you for giving us opinion. Gentlemen, you heard Mr. Aja, and he said, look, despite the fact that Atiku came and left, believe me that Nigerians are not happy about it. Before I take your response as well, let's see who the next caller on the line is. Good morning, and you're welcome to. Good morning, sir. You're welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Stanley Peter.
Your name is what, sir?
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you. What's your name again, sir?
Yeah, my name is Peter Stanley Peter.
Peter. Okay, Mr. Peter, quickly, what's your opinion? You got 1 minute on this.
My opinion is that actually I like what Atiku did. I like his action. And also I want to ask a question. Does it mean that if Nigerians...
Oh, sorry, we lost that. Quickly, gentlemen, you the first two response, one for one against. And one is saying, look, despite the fact that Buhari is not here, it's like saying Barcelona is going to play a match with Real Madrid, and we were told that Messi is not on the lineup, and the next thing you're seeing Cristiano Ronaldo playing when he was playing in his days for Real Madrid to say, look, I'm not going to play the match because Messi is not around.
No, it's not the same thing.
See, it's a 40 logic.
Okay, that's his opinion. Hello, good morning, sir. Dede, you heard the two gentlemen here, their opinion.
I think it's 100% correct.
Well, Dede, we know where your opinion has always been.
His party they are running. That if Buhari is not attend, I think we will not attend. What is the comment from this party? It is correct.
The guy is angry.
All right, thank you, Dede Ezeji. Well, Dede Ezeji has been a regular caller on this program, and of course, you and I know his view that Dede Ezeji is strong. Well, let's just find out who the next caller on the program is. Good morning. Hello. Good morning, sir. You're welcome to the program. Can you tell us your name and where you're from? Yes, good morning, sir. You're welcome.
Mr. Chris.
All right, Mr. Chris, go ahead. You have 60 seconds to tell us your opinion.
I think it's an attendant my allow what he did because all the contesting against Buhari. So if I am contesting against somebody, I will have to debate. Then if I take the debate again, I am contesting against what around, I will attend.
But you also
right.
Okay, Mr. Chris.
100% right.
Okay, Mr. Chris, hear me out. All right, Mr. Chris, I'm sure you can hear me back at home. The debate was not just meant for the president and talking about Muhammadu Buhari and Atiku, the candidates for PDP. The debate had all the candidates from different parties. We have Obi Ekwesili, we have Fela Durotaye, we have Kingsley Magalu, all there. And why should Atiku walk out when he had the opportunity of telling Nigerians his manifesto? Hello? All right, gentlemen.
Let me just try to say something before you say. See, let me explain to you, Mike.
Yes, go ahead.
You know, thank God you called us political analysts. This is politics.
Yes.
This is purely politics. This is not just, that's what you call, I always refer to my Facebook because this is where I communicate the word. That's what you call the real truth and the popular truth. Just like law. Law is not about real truth. Law is about truth you can prove. Assuming me and Meku is here and I slapped him, or maybe God forbid I did something on him and he's no longer there. If somebody comes, I can tell the party that it was the Meku that stabbed me first and I stabbed him. Now nobody can prove it. It is what I can prove that they will use in the case because Meku may not be there to prove it. What I'm saying is that the real truth is that the debate was to take to the country. But the hard truth, the popular truth was that the debate is to win election. That is the purpose of coming. And now, politically speaking, Buhari has had a history of avoiding elections, avoiding debates. And in this circumstance now, Atiku is the main contender. Let us be honest to ourselves. PDP is the number one contender when it comes to the presidency, and APC are the party in power. Other parties are just there. Let's be honest in politics. Now, Buhari, who ought to come to the election, was not there to talk.
On what ground would Atiku be countering? Let me tell you something. If Atiku had attended that debate, the remaining three would have conspired and they would have started attacking him and bring everything he want to say down. But if Buhari had been there, it would be balanced. Buhari would stand on the ground that this is the government. Atiku will stand on the ground that this is the opposition. The remaining three will stand as they are on the ground that they are the contenders. But now, the main person was not there. Now, politically speaking, it was not wise at all for Atiku to have attended. If it is me, I will not attend. Because, yes, the purpose of the election was to address the country. But the truth about it is that the purpose was to win election. And the main contender was not there. So not having been there, it makes no sense for Atiku to have attended. So what Atiku did was a grand stroke. It was anybody who is a political watcher knows that what he did was the right thing. So the next time, let me tell you something. If Nigeria wants, let them make a law that will make debates to become a part of the election. That if you don't attend the debate, you are disqualified. That is if Nigerians want Atiku, Buhari, and just something to go, let somebody in the House of Assembly, Federal House, Federal or Senate, make a law. Let there be a law in that circumstance. Then we cannot know. But for now, since there is no law, it leaves it to political maneuvering, and that is exactly what happened. All right, thank you very much, Barrister Imperial, for giving us an opinion. Maker, I can see your agent to tell us your opinion.
Yes, I want to say something. You see, even in America, the political debate is always between
the biggest two guys.
The biggest two. That is the power, the man in power,
and
the main challenger.
Clinton and Trump.
Yes,
that's everybody. But they have the Tea Party. They have so many parties in America.
And even the governor of New Mexico, when he came up as this thing of as the candidate for his party. The first time he came, he had 1 million votes. The second time he had 4 million. Even by the third time, nobody invited him. You should not just bring anybody for the sake of bringing. Because the truth about the matter is that we know that the major party, the major force here is PDP and the APC. And it should be between these two guys. And of course, me and you know that there is elite conspiracy in APC. That because they know, judging from the interview he attended in NTA, if he had come there in a situation where he would be getting the blow raw, my dear brother, you know what would have happened there. And of course, I don't know whether we are still in a country that is ruled by people who knows or people who pretend to know but refuse to do the right thing as well. So I believe that what Atiku has done is just what it is supposed to be, no matter. If Atiku had not attended and Buhari came, that would have been my position.
All right, gentlemen.
And let me tell you also that in debate, you have to say why you did certain things you did. And even in your personal life, you have to say it. But the campaigns are there for you to go and watch everything and come back and nobody ask you questions.
Nobody ask you questions. But in debate, they have to ask you questions.
If in debate, they will ask you questions.
Mike, let me just say, please, in all honesty, yes, the ideal thing is for Atiku. So it doesn't be as if you are trying to be biased.
Yes.
All right, the ideal thing is for Atiku to come. But in politics, what kind of politics here? Hang on, gentlemen. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Nice for you to.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. You're welcome to the program. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from, sir.
My name is Akunia.
Akunia, good morning. It's nice to have you once again on the breakfast program. You've heard the two gentlemen here, their opinion on Atiku not attending the debates. What's your take on this?
Well, I heard what they are saying and they are saying. Let me start from 1 to 1.
Go ahead, sir.
Atiku not participating in a debate is a lesson to this nation. I would say it, and also to his supporters. One, he's not going to discuss with Buhari. He's not there. They are sending one to Buhari. Nigerians want to know what he has in offer for us. Nigerians want to know what is going, how he will deliver a mandate that was given to him. It's not there for Buhari. If Buhari, for example, I think Buhari is not contested, and the APC have another candidate, once he has contested the debate. And for me, I blame Nigerians, and that's why I'm saying that voter. We have seen the people that we are in debate. Why can't we support one of them? Even if you say you are supporting Silla, or you are supporting Obi, or you are supporting Kinsey, why can't we pick one for them? A lot of us, they let's support this thing. We are in behind people that are good, that are not even ready to change. As far as I'm concerned, they can't take Nigeria to the 21st century we are looking at. And we are still behind them. If you ask somebody like my learned friend here, Obodna, you will see the supporting PDP. He doesn't care. Even though I'm using Abia, he will see the supporting PDP. And that's what we have. As what I will change this country. All of us are trying to change. Why can't we talk our mind out? Why must we just wait on party arena? That is my problem. For me, I want to have both PDP. But I changed my mind. I won't vote for PDP again.
All right, thank you.
I'll vote one of them.
All right, thank you very much, Akunaya. Akunaya, of course, you heard him, gentlemen.
Yes. He specifically mentioned my name. Well, first of all, I'm not a PDP member. I'm not a card-carrying member of PDP. Even Okezi Bazu, if you ask him, he knows that I am critical of his government. Anybody who follows Emperor knows that Emperor is critical of PDP. But we are talking about politics here. Okay, let me explain to you something. Do you know that in the United States, there are so many parties in the United States of America? There are always so many parties. But in the end, the debate will always be between the Democrats and the Republicans. Why? Because they know that others are contenders, others are pretenders. Now, everybody is just like Akonaya now. Akonaya now is talking about.
Sorry, I'd like you to prove this while you're answering that.
Yes.
That's an American system. We're talking about the Nigerian system.
Yes, Nigerian system is akin to American system.
Of course.
With our constitution, you know, I'm a lawyer. Our constitution is akin to their own constitution. Almost everything they have, the powers of the president, even the executive order. No, I'm coming now, sir. Even the executive order, our president recently started signing. He learned it from Trump, who started signing executive order. The very executive order he made when he became power was to stop the Arabs from coming to America. And that is exactly what Buhari is doing. Buhari is also using executive order to stop stopping corruption. Now what I'm asking is that our system is akin to the American system. And now everybody talking about Atiku. What about Buhari that refused to come? What about just like Akunaya mentioned here, like he insult Nigeria. What about Buhari? Didn't he insult Nigerians by refusing to come to the debate? That's the question.
That's what he said.
Yes. It is.
Hang on, sir.
Okay.
Sir. I just want us to have an open mind because we're talking to the elites and I'm also talking to the audience, talking about Nigerians watching. And of course, some people need to get a takeaway, something they could learn from you that are experts in these. And what he's trying to say is that it is one thing for the president not to show up. It's as bad as what you can think. And it is worse for Atiku to come around to the venue and leaving without talking to Nigerians. That's the point he's trying to drag.
My summary of it is that ideally, Atiku ought to have been in the politics, ideally. But politically speaking, it was political suicide for him to have come. Let me remember, we are talking about the candidates. We're not talking about generally. Generally, if you invite people to interview, debate, they ought to come. But we're talking about politics here. And Atiku has to play his games very well in order to win. And let me tell you another thing. Even Buhari, Buhari played a master stroke in not coming. Because we all know Buhari for who he is. We all know his intellectual acumen and intellectual capacity. If Buhari had attended that debate, they would have roasted him. That's the truth. You know me, I will tell the truth. But the truth is that for Buhari not to come was a master stroke on his own side too. Because the best thing to do is to go to the crowd. Buhari is popular, with all due respect, among the poor people, among the Amajuris in Nigeria, among those who don't. Even this man said it. Even one man said it. Among the people who don't. But the elites, how you call it, and he enjoys the public. So Buhari, let me just summarize so they can understand me. Yes, it's my opinion. When Buhari goes to campaigns, he talks to the people and he charms them and they usher outside Buhari, side Buhari.
Let's be very civil with that.
That is the.
All right, Emeka, let's go back to you. You've heard the callers, some of the opinion that Atiku would have also, having come to the venue would have been a better opportunity. Despite the fact that the presidency, talking about the president, didn't show up, it would have been an opportunity for Atiku to talk to Nigerians and especially use the platform to say, where is your number one man? He ought to be here. But I have regards for Nigerians, and that's why I'm here. That if Atiku had done that, believe me, it doesn't go with the fact that he might not be the best debater talking about out of the three other candidates, but he might show Nigeria that he is worthy to be part of what Nigerians want to see. What's your take on that?
Yes, you remember that Atiku left America specifically for that purpose and had to drive down to that venue.
So we're told.
Yes. At least you saw his picture.
So we're
and
told.
you also know that he traveled. And you also know that he left. Because you're a media man, you'll be following the movement.
Sure,
so what they told you is actually the truth. There is no need of hanging, trying to hide under.
Of course, we knew that Atiku.
So when Atiku came there, as he came there now and did not see the main man, that if he had gone in there, it would have been a case of shadow boxing. I mean, you really need to have somebody
I think that's the point.
Yes,
and
look at the issue.
Just hang on, sir.
Look at the issue. You still have the campaigns, and it is in the campaigns. When you go there, you will talk, and nobody will talk back to you. Nobody will want to ask you probing questions or why this happened or that happened. Because actually, Buhari had come there. Maybe Atiku would have been asked the question: did you go as an aide of Saraki, or did you go on your own? Some of those things. So I believe that the only problem we have here is that we play to the gallery so much that we refuse to come to the truth. And it is always important to say the truth, because you see, one thing is very certain. Every man has his day to go to the grave, whether you speak the truth or not. But if you go home with your conscience boxed inside you, I mean, it will not be too good.
Okay, it will not be too good. Let's quickly take the last caller for today. Hello, good morning. And can you tell us your name and where you're calling us from, sir?
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for holding on. Please kindly tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, my name is Comrade Emeka.
Comrade Emeka, you have 60 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay. We want to drag it much. The article of participating on the election, on the debate is a very nice one. It's a very good choice for many Nigerians. The question the Nigerians are asking is the reason Buhari and our president escaped the debate. What was his reason for not coming out to tell us more on what he has achieved and what he plans to achieve, and if he happens to win the election come February?
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. And of course, you heard Emeka's opinion. Gentlemen, for time's sake, this is where we'll be drawing the curtains for today's program. Of course, we'll still be taking a look at the state of the nation, talking about the political debate. Gentlemen, you are also aware that all the radio and TV stations in Nigeria and Abia State are putting up something also similar. We're inviting all the political parties, talking about their candidates from the state and the federal, and those also that will be jostling for the #1 position of Abia State. And it's going to come up 4th February and also 21st of February at the Benes Hotel. What's your expectation to that?
It's actually a good one. It's actually a good one. We need to hear the candidates. But the truth about it is that I pray that I know Kesi Bazu will be there, because he's a PhD holder. I have heard him talk. He talks reasonably. I think he ought to be there. I also hope Alex Oti, who is a banker, a former director of Diamond Bank, that he should be there. I also know the only problem I have is in our APC, where I don't know whether it is Ike Menike or whether it is Uche that will come. But following by the court ruling, should be the
we're taking that of what INEC says.
Yes, INEC or court.
Sorry, the court. Sorry.
So the court is the Keshemenike that should come. It's unfortunate for Uchaga.
Well,
so we believe that they should come. Let us hear them. I will even want to play a part in that debate. Let us hear them and know what to say.
Emeka, if you were to ask any of the candidates one question, talking about those that is jostling for the position of the #1 seat in Abia State, what would that question be in 60 seconds?
Yes, my question would be their program, one for the youths, as to their empowerment, not by trader money, not by loan scheme, but by building up their intellectual capacity, by also providing robust employment. How do they intend to take people off? I mean, all these graduates that is riding Okada now, how will they take them off the streets. And again, I would also want to know whether what has accrued to these states, how they have managed it, in all sincerity.
All right, thank you. That's your opinion. And Barrister Emperor, political analyst, what do you think? If you have the opportunity to ask, what would that question be?
I will ask the governors what plans they have for each geopolitical zone of Abia State, because we have a situation whereby for some time now, so governors normally face development in their own senatorial zone. With all due respect, that's the truth. When Theology was there, we saw what was happening in Omuahia. In our own side of Bende, we are not seeing much. In Abia, Theology made it clearly that when we also we have also seen what has been happening in Abia. We also know whether he has been doing much around Bende side of Omuahia. So the question I would ask them is, are you aware that you are if you enter or you are being in power, that you are the governor for the 3 senatorial zones of the state? What plans do you have for each senatorial zone, and not just concentrating in your own senatorial zone? Yes, that's the question I will ask you.
All right, of course, we also leave you to be part of the political debates coming up on the 4th and 21st of February. Of course, the venue is Hotel Binez Abat Macaulay Hall. We want you to be part of that, and of course, it's going to come on live on all the radio and TV stations here in Abia State. You want to put a date on that with us? All right, gentlemen.
Can I ask you a question concerning it? Because it's like an open invitation. Are you going to do accreditation, or the whole of Abia will make
Oh, definitely. Definitely the choice of those that will coming in will be decided by those in charge. But that will say just keep a date, and we'll keep giving you on all that will transpire, who is supposed to be part of that. All right, gentlemen, this is how far we can go on today's program. Apologies for not taking sports, but believe me, Jonah Hodge is going to be here tomorrow to tell you all that is making round in the world of sports. Please stay tuned for Unasalachi Umabia.
Good morning, Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
MCL, the word in your home.